You know, in last week's SmackDown, did you see it?
I didn't see SmackDown. No, it's hard to take Dean Ambrose.
Well, you know, did you see Steve Austin
interview? Let me tell you something. After that Dean Ambrose interview with Stone Cold Steve Austin, I want the belt off that man immediately. He made Roman Reigns seem like Sean Hannity. Oh my! That guy can't talk for shit. Talk about exposed, Don Tony. Horrible. Did you see that interview with Steve Austin? Did you see Austin's face?
I saw some of it. I mean...
Oh, dude, he was so bad. This guy's going to represent the company as the champion around the circuit. Give Ziggler the belt now. Get rid. He's got to go. He's got to go.
Oh, you know,
Dude, as sure as the Mafia said Pesci had to go in Goodfellas, Ambrose got to go. And there's nothing anybody can do about it.
Yeah, but Pesci at least beat up Billy Batts. You know, I didn't...
Dude, yeah, come on. I mean, when are people going to start telling the truth around here? Well, I mean, that interview was so bad. I wanted to talk about that. Someone called him the Lunatic Cringe.
That actually is good.
I loved it. I wrote the guy immediately and said, dude, I'm stealing that. The Lunatic Cringe.
As far as Dean Ambrose goes, I look at it like this. I know this sounds kind of cliche, but I base, Dean Ambrose's run on his ability to sell merchandise, to sell tickets, to draw crowds, to gain, have a certain popularity. I don't base it on a bland Steve Austin interview. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I give Dean Ambrose a little more of a chance, but I don't know. Steve Austin saying that Dean Ambrose has got to get that fire again. I'm not trying to sound like a dick, but Dean Ambrose, if you watch him from a year and a half ago, there's not that much difference in his style, in his attitude, in his promos. So, I don't disagree with Steve Austin, but at the same time, I'm saying, when was there a point? And look, people, I'm not trying to shit on Dean Ambrose in any way, but when was there a point where Dean Ambrose was significantly more of an upgrade than what he is now? And I can't find the time.
No.
So
I forgot Ambrose was still champion until I saw him on Austin's show and had the belt with him.
Yeah, but,
Dude, it was Lunatic Cringe. Sorry. It was one of the worst interviews. It was up there with Kalisto's promo.
It wasn't.
It was painful to watch. Roman, you're on your way back, my man.
For the world title, Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler.
I hope it's Dolph Ziggler because like I said, and I'm not going to harp on this point. Maybe I will. After I saw him on Steve Austin in a very relaxed environment with a fellow wrestler, how are you going to put this man on Jimmy Fallon? How are you going to put this man on a morning talk show with Kelly? Dean Ambrose has no... He doesn't have it. I don't know. I guess Renee Young was attracted to this dopey boy persona, and he's not very, she kind of has to take care of him, I guess. He just came off really bad in that interview. He did. I mean, the Lunatic Cringe, like I said, I forgot the guy's name who came up with it, but if anybody, I make those signs. Say you're Roman Reigns, I make Lunatic Cringe. I think people will get it, because that was a bad interview. Austin looked uncomfortable. He looked uncomfortable. And how the fuck are you uncomfortable in a studio with Steve Austin? How are you uncomfortable? You're one-on-one with one of your idols. What's to be uncomfortable about? And if he can't do that, he cannot trot around the title around the world and represent his company talking like an imbecile. I mean, he comes off very... I understand he's school smart, but he's socially retarded. There's no doubt in my mind. He's got a bad social problem. And he is no Brian Pillman, and he is no Roddy Piper. Piper and Pillman would have cut it up on that show. But can you imagine Piper one-on-one with Austin? Would be great. Or Pillman in the heyday talking to Austin. You saw they got along in the Hollywood Blondes. Actually, one time Austin did a mock interview with Brian Pillman. Where is this guy's charisma? I mean, that's what he... And what Lunatic Fringe? What is he? I don't even get his gimmick. He has messed up hair and he wears an MC jacket. That's his gimmick. You know who had that? Raven.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry. Call it like it is. He doesn't rep the title in a good way.
I've seen Ambrose do interviews for TV stations, radio stations. I could see Seth Rollins doing
Rollins is better
live
with
Kelly.
people publicly than
than
Ambrose is.
I could see Rollins doing Fox News live with Kelly, and I could see Ambrose doing sports shows and weathers.
But why was he so bad in that interview? Why?
Well, I mean, it's.
We're going to blame Austin. How come Big Show and Lesnar had a great interview with Austin?
Well, I don't know. It's and to whatever 32 in the chat room, we're not Steve Austin dick suckers. Fucking Austin has me banned on Twitter because I'm friends with his ex.
Dude, it has nothing to do with
it
Steve
has nothing to
Austin
do with
fans,
like
moron.
it's Steve
We're
Austin
talking
or not.
I'm calling the guy moron, not you, Don Terry. It has to do with Dean Ambrose coming off in a shit way as the world fucking champion. He had the personality of Chris Benoit on that fucking show. Because if you're going to rip Roman Reigns for bad promos in the ring, how about a guy who's being interviewed by a goddamn wrestler who's in the locker room with this guy who's met Dean Ambrose 50 million times, and Dean Ambrose is acting like he's in front of the hot school teacher and doesn't know how to talk? I mean, come on, guys. I mean, you got to admit shit. You got to rip on certain wrestlers. Admit when your favorites drop the ball. That's what pisses me off about this new generation. Admit it.
Yeah,
but I'm also admit when your favorites don't deliver.